everyone, it's Desiree, and I am here with Simon Says Stamp, and we are celebrating, or I'm going to help them celebrate, a new release, and it's called Sunny Days Ahead. With our challenging times that we are all facing right now, what a perfect phrase. So this is the stamp set that we're going to create a card with, and it is called Luck and Hugs. I am in love with the images. I love the fact that the majority of the images have 6, so it's perfect for rainbow. And that is exactly what I wanted to make sure was on this card. So I'm going to use the hugs. And then I'm also, you'll see the smaller stamp, because I love the fact that you've got the large sentiments, hugs and good luck. And then you got the kind of medium ones that were in the block, hugs and good luck. And then you've got all of these smaller typed sentiments in the set that go with good luck or hugs. So, I will be choosing It Will Be Okay. Again, there is, when I think about this, and again, I think it was Kelly Latavola, and I apologize if I say her name wrong. She was making cards, and they had the anchor on them. And she said, she was talking about that and telling us the story of that. And the phrase she used was, look for the rainbows. And you know what? During this time, it is what I am doing. For some reason, that phrase from her has stuck with me. So thank you. And I do. Every day I look for the rainbow. So I thought, with everything going on, that this card needed rainbows. So let's get back to the cards. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take the hugs, and I stamped it on a piece of masking paper by Inka-Dinka-Doo. I love saying that, Inka-Dinka-Doo. Never mind. I have to say it one more time, Inka-Dinka-Doo. 3s, right? So I stamped out my hugs. Now I'm going to fussy cut this. Now I'm not going to give you all pain to watch me fussy cut, because it is painful to watch me fussy cut. It takes me forever. I would have to speed it up like 5 times so that you wouldn't have to watch this, and to make it be somewhat short. Sorry. So I will be cutting this out. You can see how it's horrible. I'm not a fussy cutter. And I'm going to place that. Now, I didn't cut out the sections that were inside, like between the G and the S and the G sections and so forth. So I'm going to make sure that I don't stamp over those areas, if that makes sense. You'll see what I mean. Now, there's 2 images that I'm going to use. One of them is the circles, and it crosses over. The circles overlap, which I thought was really cool. Now, of course, we do everything in even numbers, and that one I got a little bit crazy and carried away when I did my stamping. But that's okay. We can cover that up, because we do not start over, especially after cutting that mask out, because I knew if I removed it, I would have torn it. So yeah, not happening. These are the things that I think about. So you can see I went over the hugs, so that's going to be in the background. And now I'm going to choose a second one that doesn't overlap, and I'm going to use that to fill in. So I'm going to be I'm creating a background here with that hugs standing out. I used my Gina K amalgam ink, because I am going to use my colored pencils for this image. I just wanted a color. I am finding through this challenging time, I am an essential worker. So, you know, I need to help people, and I need to do what I'm doing for my job, which I'm very thankful for. But coloring in art journal pages have really, really helped. I mean, I have anxiety, absolutely. And doing these 2 things are very much helping. So you're going to be getting a lot of different videos. So here I am going to keep the coloring in. So this is going to be long. If you don't like a long video, skip past this, get to the end so you can see how I can get the card together. So I'm using my Prismacolor pencils, and I'm using just the basics: a red, an orange, a yellow, a green, a blue, and a purple. So it's really interesting. So I'm choosing 1 petal of each of the flowers, and I'm doing all of that one color. All right. That's what we need to do here. Now I'm going to come in with the orange. So I'm doing it in the order of the rainbow because I do want to have that overlap. So I'm coloring the area first that doesn't have the red there, and then I'm going over the red. So you can see how that color kind of changes. It kind of looks different. Well, it does look different. It's not that it's it definitely does look different. So I want that to go through. So as I'm coloring this, when I come in with the next color, and it's just the one with the circles, I'm making sure I do the area that doesn't have any color first, and then I'm going over the areas to overlap, because I don't want to pull that red out into the orange. I want that to look orange, if that makes sense. I mean, your colored pencils, when you use them, they will blend together. They will pull that pigment out from that area, and I didn't want that to happen. You can see on the other flower, it's very simple. It's just going through each of the petals. So I just made sure I chose a flower with that same amount. There are so many neat possibilities with this. Like the one flower too, it's just all these little circles. Now we've all seen Jennifer McGuire use the gems for those images that are just circle stamps. You know, they're just all those little circles and they tell you where to put the gems. I mean, that would be perfect too. So there are so many possibilities with this stamp set, with the strips. I mean, how much fun could we possibly have with that as well? So you can see I'm moving through the greens. I did use the typical colors of the rainbow. I didn't get into aquas. I didn't get into lavenders. I didn't change the shade of the rainbow. I wanted this to be bright and to give somebody a smile, hopefully. Absolutely, hopefully. So now we're going to come in with the blue and we're going to do the same thing. And you can see then when I go over, we just get that difference in colors. So I do hope everybody during this time is healthy and is safe. I hope your families are healthy and safe at the same time. As I said, I am an essential worker. I am part of the what I'll refer to as the food chain. So it does allow me to smile, to know that I'm helping families be fed through this time. It's interesting, you know, when we come to that, but what I do like, what I'm seeing many people going for walks. I'm seeing children outside playing carefully. There's a different way, which I think is great, that the children are outside playing. I mean, if they have brothers and sisters, of course, there's a difference there. But I see people being creative, not only across on YouTube, but throughout the my development as well, on things that they can do. And I think it's wonderful. You know, families are families. But please know, this is still a challenging time. I am not minimizing that in any way, shape, or form. And yes, you know, I do have anxieties through this. And because I have this, and you guys, this helps me. So, but you can tell the videos are getting different. Again, colored pencils are my best friend, and creating backgrounds in art journal pages have become my best friend. I find by doing these two things, it alleviates any anxiety I may have. So getting really creative with some things to do. So you can see I moved on to the hugs. I'm using black, which I'm using a very light hand. You can see I did the H first, and then I did the G. So when I do the U and the S, those areas that are crossing over on the U and the S are going to be darker. again, I want these images to look like they're see-through as we're going through. And now I'll come in and I'll just do another layer on that gray just to show that these are overlapping. Again, I'm not using pressure, pure pressure, when I'm using my colored pencils on this because I do want that light touch. Yes, after you do this, you could use the Gamsol if you wanted to. I am not a Gamsol user. I will either use a white pencil or my blender when I do my blending, but I let the pencils do the work themselves. So this is awesome. So I'm using a tape runner, which is usually something that I don't use. I usually use my liquid adhesive, but I couldn't find it, and I go on Cricut. Yep. I figured, okay, I can rip this. Nope. It was, obviously the Altenew tape runners are possibly strong, never knew. So I'm just going to come in with my long shears and I'm going to trim the black frame that I wanted to create on that. And nobody will be none to the wiser except those that watch this video. Again, we can do that. I've pulled out one of my standard A2 size card bases. I have a stack that's cut 4 1/4 by 11, and then I will score it or fold it at 5 1/2, which will give me my standard A2 size card base. I'm going to place this in the center of that card base, making sure now that I have a small white frame going around my card as well, which is doing very well. I'm kind of liking that. I pulled out my Pretty Pink Posh black gems, and they are going to go into the centers of these flowers, or those flowers that have a center. So as you can see, I found my liquid adhesive, thank goodness, so that I can use my wax pencil and place my gems in the center. I figured since I had the black frame, using the black gems would help emphasize that and make my colors even bolder than what they already are. I am using 2 different sizes for these centers, and I think that adds just enough touch. Now, the last thing that I have is my small sentiment. So I already took care of stamping that and heat embossing that with white fine detail embossing powder, and it simply says it will be okay. And I'm going to set that just above the area where I said I got crazy with the stamping, because I'm a mean stamper. Meaning I use a lot of pressure. I get, I slap it down, and I shouldn't. I should be more genteel. Love my stamps. Don't be so mean to them when I stamp. So I'm just going to put this strip right above that area, which will hide that and cover that up and not pull it to anyone's eye. And that is our project for Simon Says Stamp. Let's help celebrate them by looking at all of the products. There are some beautiful products in this collection, and everything will be linked down below. And again, this collection and release is called Sunny Days Ahead. So use that as your hashtag to find many more inspiration and ideas that were made for this release. As always, the products that I use will be linked down below, and if you have any questions or comments, please make sure you leave those down below as well, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. If you haven't already, I'd love for you to subscribe. Make sure you ring the bell so that you know when the next video is ready, and hit that thumbs up. Everyone, please enjoy your day. Make sure everyone stay safe, stay healthy through this challenging time. But with us being creative all the time, that is something that can help relieve, or at least it relieves my anxiety and gets us through this. So remember, always be creative. Till next time.